Good guys, this is Lord Tomo and Sonic the Hedgehog. Welcome again to another Sonic the Hedgehog and Lord Tomo's Wednesday night book night. So we're going to put the little blue guy aside just for now and I'll get straight into the actual book more or less. Now the actual book is called, or it's referred to as the official Sonic the Hedgehog Yearbook. And the actual publishers or creators or whatever you like to call it is Crane Dreams, I'd like to pronounce. There it is, I'll bring it in close as possible. Maybe somebody better out there can pronounce it. Basically, every year, after a year of Sonic, promotions and whatnot, they release a book. There have been two. This is obviously the first one, and they basically just talk about more or less what Sonic the Hedgehog has done, etc., etc. So it is a nice book. The graphics isn't that all too impressive, but it does its job. You have got old Dr. Robotnik here, one of his badniks. You have Sonic the Hedgehog with a, I think that's a whip. No, it's a ring. My mistake. It is a ring, and he has a bunch of rings, and you have tails there. He looks a bit, to say the least, retarded. Yeah, retarded would be the word. Anyway, the back is exactly the same. Only difference is it's got the label and it's got the barcode. Now, during the time, not now, it's obviously not going to be valid. It says win a Mega CD in our great free-to-enter competition. So you could have actually entered, well, back in the time when you got the book. So there's a lot of pages around here, so I'll just go through them as quickly as possible. By all means, if you want to obviously have a quick gander or have a quick look, you can always just pause and whatnot. So over here you just have got Sonic the Hedgehog in his various stages, which is always, a cute thing. The next page we have obviously the content. You have got Sonic and you have one of the badniks there. You have, okay, now I'll see if I can get, the writing is exceptionally small. I don't think you'll be able to pause that. No, I'm just using a HD webcam here, so it's obviously not going to do its justice. But pretty much in the premise of this book, or besides everything else, you just have mini stories. So you have good old Sonic just running through the lava, and you have Dr. Robotnik obviously wants a piece of him. So I do apologize if you can't read the text. Obviously it's not the best that I can get, but hey, it does its job, right? Plus, who needs words when you have pictures, right? Plus, who needs, pictures when it's pretty much self-explanatory and it's got old Sonic just kicking ass. That's what we want, right? So you have Dr. Robotnik trying to have a go at our Sonic, and yeah, he gets his ass handed down to him. Now, as I mentioned, it basically, I wouldn't say... It has small segments in between each comic, more or less, which describes certain things. For example, in this little segment, you have a Sonic the Hedgehog interview, where they actually interview the Sonic, and you have quotes like, "I'm not a hero, I'm a superhero. It's something that just happened to me." Kind of makes him, pretentious, obnoxious sort of thing. But hey, that's how he is, right? So the interview, like I said, the text is extremely small and hard to read with this, but pretty much, if you pick this book up, you can read the actual information yourself. And they also have small segments of what they did during the time of promotion. In this case, you just had an inflatable Sonic the Hedgehog balloon for a hot air balloon to promote Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is always a good thing, right? Now, you also had various little facts. Eco the Dolphin, you have Tasmanian Devil, which is actually native to Tasmania, no other, which is also part of a state in Australia. You had other, little situations here and whatnot, which is always a good thing. And we get back into another little comic strip, which is, there we go. Pretty decent. I do like the overall graphics. It follows suit to the Sonic the Hedgehog comic that was released in the UK. There was an actual series between, I think they stopped it at 32, 35, thereabouts. Obviously there's another Sonic the Hedgehog comic, which is obviously the Archie series, which is still going strong and still going hard, which I do collect myself, which is, pretty awesome. So you just have got old Sonic doing his normal tricks and, kicking ass as he normally does, the blue blow. Okay, so this is another segment where after they're done with the comic, they just obviously throw in. You have various stars, to be honest. I'm not too sure. Back then as a kid, I had a strict upbringing, so I don't know who these guys actually are, but I do know the Game Gear. Actually, the Game Gear was one of the consoles I actually wanted to get as a kid. I actually didn't want to get a Nintendo one, a Nintendo Game Boy, but I couldn't find a Game Gear. as it became obsolete. Apparently these guys are famous, I don't know. They're not famous to me. And yeah, we have a little drag queen in the bottom. Down here, not a big fan of that, but hey, that's that, right? Good old Sega Mega Drive, people either playing Game Gear. Obviously trying hard to promote it. You have Michael Jackson here, you have a Sega boy, obviously promoting other people, other things. And this is the competition where you can actually win a Mega CD. It really never kicked off, to be honest, but it was there. It was just another peripheral you could add to the actual, you know, Sega Mega Drive, which they shouldn't have done, but hey, you know, what's the old saying? You can't achieve anything if you're not of interest. They also have a little Shinobi, the Dark Circle sort of comic strip, which I find pretty badass. Here's another one, got a Shinobi doing his thing. You have more Shinobi kicking ass, getting his ass handed down to him, as ninjas normally do, but they rise once again and kick ass, because you can't have a ninja that you're following get defeated. So there you go, proof that his ass is being handed down to other ninjas in an epic ninja battle, where ninjaness will rule about in ninjas. Alright, here we go. We have, obviously, we also have a Sega review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which is kind of ironic because being a Sonic Yearbook, you'll think it will get top rating, but yeah, it's they review it, they obviously say how awesome it is. No surprises there, right? Self-advertisement. They also do other ones like Sherlock Holmes, they did the Flintstones, good old Genesis, Mega Drive sort of games, which, you know, it's always a plus, I suppose. And you just have obviously the peripheral at the very top, our Sega CD. Not a big fan of it, but it was there. I never did actually purchase it. Then again, as a child, my parents only bought me a Sega Mega Drive, so this next system up from that was a Dreamcast, which we bought. So we missed a lot of generations there in between, but it's there, right? So you have the good retro. You have another little comic strip where it says Double Sonic, so that's that. Get a good view of that. So, as you can imagine, just more comic strips there. Sonic, good old Sonic kicking ass, you know how it is. Which is always a plus. And as you know, good old Sonic the Hedgehog wins. Now, to be honest, I'd like to see a Sonic the game where he actually loses, but that's just me. And this is the back. So guys, this is the actual one of the official Sonic the Hedgehog yearbooks. There will be another one which I will do later on, of course. But I hope you enjoy this, and stay tuned as there will be more books to discuss, more books to see and whatnot. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Take care and speed on.